your desires are from God. Like your desires, like they are meaningful, they matter. Like you don't need to doubt them. But like she really showed us that it is safe to trust that like it is coming. Like, and you had mentioned like the patience and the trust of the timing, right? Like that for all of us. I mean, I feel that so much with Fresh Start Family and like, you know, the like place I want it to be. And it's like, so many times you're like, why isn't this moving as fast as I want or in the order? And it's like leaning into that and having our child go first to show us that like it's safe to trust, to wait, and to believe that this like incredibleness is coming to you. And you just have to be in a place of receiving and knowing that you're worthy and that it will come. Hello, families, and welcome back to a new episode of the Fresh Start Family Show. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, you guys. We have Terry Snyder on the show with us today to kick off the new year. I could not be more thrilled. Honey, we have missed you. I feel like we have not had you on the podcast a lot in 2025.
It's been a minute. It's beanie season.
It is beanie season. They can't see that if they're listening, babe. But
no,
yeah.
I'm painting a picture for them.
Yes,
I'm wearing
yes,
a beanie and a jacket and like some all-terrain shoes for the podcast today.
Yeah, I have a goal to have you on the podcast more in 2026 because I think the people want more of Terry Snyder.
I'll have to check my schedule, and it's good to have the appetite. You know, you don't want to overdo it. So yeah. I'm glad, you know.
You got to stay a little bit hard to get.
Yeah, a little hard to get. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, this is becoming a bit of a tradition, babe, where we come together, we kind of wrap our year and talk about the biggest takeaway from the year. We did this in 2024.
Okay.
And we chose a word of the year for the next year, which is this year, 2025.
Yeah.
You did not choose your word ever.
I think I did. I know you were having the chat look back, but
yeah,
I think I chose the F word for some reason.
Well, you joked. You joked about choosing the F word just to be funny and fun, but I don't think that was your word of the year for 2025.
Nah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so you just didn't choose your word of the year, but I
think I was just trying to see what was possible, what would get censored possibly. Yeah. Was there like how much free speech was actually involved in the Fresh Start Family Show?
Yeah, so true. But I chose the word of the year. I lived into it, and you were just like, I'm not doing it. But this year,
see how well that worked out for me. I don't know. Stay tuned.
This year, I lovingly challenged you to pick a word of the year. You said you have it, so we're gonna come to that towards the end of the episode. But first, I thought it would be fun to look back on what we feel like our biggest takeaway of the year was in life, right? Like most of what we do is parenting. We also have careers and our faith journeys and all the things. And everyone listening, like Terry and I didn't prepare this podcast today. Like we just literally are.
Says who?
I wanted this conversation to be just more from like a feeling perspective of like, as we look back on this year, what really stuck out to us as like monumental. And as we wrap this year, what feels like something that was a big, big takeaway. So I'm just going to kind of review our year. I think this is an episode where listeners get to just kind of be in on what it looks like to go through a year in the life of Terry and Wendy. But we started off the year with a pretty monumental event, life-changing event, when we lost our little cousin. Our little cousin passed away. He was stillborn, beautiful baby boy. His name was Taryn Brooks Taryn. Brooks Taryn, and he was so special to us, but he came into this world as a sleeping angel. And Terry and Stella, you were with him, you know, him and his mama. He was in his belly 3 days before he came, and he just arrived sleeping. And it was one of the most heartbreaking and also beautiful things to support our cousins who we are very close with through that grieving process. And yeah, that's how we started off the year. We got to be part of his really celebration of life ceremony. And I got to host that. I got to give his, what is that called again? My first eulogy ever was for a child, which was just such a groundbreaking, life-changing information event. Babe, I haven't had enough coffee this morning.
Not enough or too much?
That's true. Maybe I've had...
I don't know. We'll poll the audience.
Okay, groundbreaking. I know just even at his ceremony of life, we had like just beautiful things happen there and conversation with loved ones. Like Brooks was a monumental soul in our life and continues to be a monumental soul in our life. But being part of that grieving process is how we started off the year. And I think it softened both of us and our entire family, drew us closer to our cousins and just taught us a lot. So we started off there. Then fast forward a few months, and we got to experience one of the highest highs. And I don't know how we're not going to bawl I'm just summarizing the year, and then we're going to come back to this. But we got to witness our little girl, who's now 18, reaching like the dream of her life. So becoming a committed Division I beach volleyball player for a top 10 school in the nation. Holy shit, that was crazy.
Yeah.
So that happened in March and April, right? Like at the end of March?
Yeah, I mean, she started talking to them end of March. I think it was April 6th was the day.
April 6th was the day she became a committed Division I beach volleyball athlete. And then as the year went on, the summer felt like a little rocky here in California. We were kind of panicking a little bit about what was happening in America. We used our voice as best we can to be respectful and really outspoken around what we were advocating for as far as healthy, firm, and kind democracy, which was really, like, in our opinion, not what we were seeing with the changes happening in America. Then we went on to finish the Fresh Start Family book, which I really look at as like a collective effort. I wrote the darn book and it was amazing, but you were just equally a part of that, obviously, because that book is about our 18-year journey in parenthood. That got turned in August. The same month, we went to Mexico to celebrate your 50th birthday. Yeah, alert. Terry's old now.
I'm an unk, officially.
Terry turned 50. We went and had the most incredible week staying on the ocean in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, getting good surf. Boys fished and spearfished their brains out. The girls were just so happy. Stella brought a best friend. Taryn brought a best friend. We were there with our best friends. It was just a magical, magical week. And then, what else, babe? What am I missing? And then we went on to Thanksgiving holidays. Is there anything else in there that was big?
Taryn had his first year of high school so far. I mean, it's still in progress, but yeah, he entered high school. Stella entered her senior year. I think we've both had, so many different chapters within chapters of our career and work this year. I mean, that, might take longer and be less interesting to the listening audience, but boy, talk about just always ever changing. So yeah. But yeah, we've done a lot. And just acknowledging too that the year started off with, I mean, we're sitting in this beautiful space, Oceanside Sanctuary in your office. Yeah. So this was a blessing that came into your world / our world in January, wasn't that?
Yeah. And it was off the cusp of finding a new church home where we finally, after 15 years of loving and growing our faith, really now we are in a place where we have never felt happier in our faith journey to have a community of Christians that we feel are healthy, inclusive, about justice and joy. We found this church later in the end of the year. And then we really, I think, got my office here, and it started to become like family in 2025. And that, you're right, that felt so
this
good.
Office, I feel represents a lot for 2025. You've spent almost the full calendar year here in this space. So that changed your whole dynamic of, where you spend your days and where everybody's listening. You're tuning in, but this is a space can mean a lot. It's not just a place you're sitting. I mean, this is a beautiful 100-year-old church. And then the people who invited you into this space, I think, represent a lot in your journey and a lot in they believe in you, you believe in them. I think it's definitely shows that you're surrounded by the right community and people, pointed at the same light. You just want to say, are we pointed in the same direction here? And it was a resounding yes. And I think having you in this space was like an affirmation of that.
It's so true. Yeah, of just that feeling of like belonging that happens once you like lock into a faith community where you're like, okay, everything's okay here.
Yeah.
This is safe. This is the kind of faith that I want to be part of. Because yeah, a lot of 2020, what was that? This is confusing. We have a lot of years going on. A lot of 2024 was really scary. The nation felt like it was changing fast. There was a lot of Christian nationalism rising, and like so many of us who I think practice this type of what I would call like ancient, modern, progressive Christianity. So it's like our church is 150 years old. Our building's 100 years old, but our church community is 150 years old. So it's like, it's nothing new. Like the basic teachings of Christ, like, the core main tenets or the majors, as Meredith Miller teaches it. But it felt like that was like slowly going away, and like a different type of Christianity was rising, and it was really scary in 2024 for us. And so to find that and really anchor down to that in 2025 was huge. You're right. Another thing is, one more thing to add to the wrap up of the year is like, holy crap, babe, we have an adult child now. Stella turned 18 on November 2nd, which, those of us who give birth and our spouses are part of this. It's like that we know that's our birthday too, right? Like that's the day I became a mom, you became a dad, Terry. And that was crazy. 18 years. Like, where did it go? And Stella, in her true fashion, was like, hey, what if we went to Disney World as a family? And instead of just going to Disney World, what if we pedal to the metal, did 4 parks in one day? Because we had to see family too that we really wanted to. That was like the sick and healing. But we arrived, we were rope droppers, our first experience of being a rope dropper. 7:30 a.m. at the park. We were the first one on the Avatar ride. The kids ran to get our place. And we exited the park, I think, at like 12:20 p.m. So we did 4 parks in one day, Disney World. And I would say it was like one of the highlights of our life as a family.
Never forget it, for sure. And also just the way you describe it, like we let Stella lead. And I think that's such for everybody that's listening, if you're at all familiar with any of the work or the story or anything, our power kid, Stella, it was like that lesson that came thankfully pretty early on was like, this kid just wants to lead something. And so here it was, 18 years old. Go ahead, kid, lead us with the plan. And man, she had a notes page broken down to like every minute where we were going to be, when we were going to need to take a bus to the other park, or hey, this one we're actually getting a Lyft ride from this park to that park. We're going to do lunch here. The plan changed like in the days leading up. She adjusted everything. We just let her lead. We just let her lead, and she did a wonderful job. And that was, I think, part of the joy for her. I think if we would have tried to co-lead that thing, or one of us said, hey, it's your birthday, let us lead, she probably would have been stressed out or trying to like change the plan or whatever. It's like, just let the kid lead, man. So, yeah.
And she now has like a really consistent job coaching volleyball, and she had saved up her money so she could buy the family fast pass tickets. And
she's buying us stuff now, guys. If you have kids, and here's the kid too that I like, we were both like, sorry, Stella, if you're listening, I know you're not, but whatever. We were always like, man, is she a taker? Right. Or is she a giver? Dude, she's a giver. Raise your hand
if you've ever wondered that about your kid. Come on, it's common.
Yeah, chat. Participate in the chat. No, there's no chat. But
oh God, she's turned into such a giver. It's so
she's
sweet.
Such a giver right now. And she said she's so excited for Christmas. She's been buying all these gifts. She's got her own money that she's been earning. Don't get me wrong. She's still hitting me up on Mondays for lunch money and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Nails. But she's finding the joy in giving back to the family, including her brother, who, still on some days gets treated like a minion. But I feel like the overall just joy of giving, we can see it in her. It's amazing. And I think a lot of it, too, was because we gave her something. She's exhaling because she's been given some leadership. She's been given, I think she's reaching that point where she feels the significance, that's always been inside of her, but she's an adult now.
I've been telling the Fresh Start community lately, like that phrase that Susie Walton, our parenting educator for our first decade of parenting study, would always say is just trust in the humanity of your child, right? Like this reminds me of like original goodness that Meredith Miller teaches, and that I've interviewed Meredith about. That we'll have her episode coming soon around original goodness versus original sin. But like they're just made so perfectly and beautifully in the image of God. And like, you just have to trust that you don't have to make them into good humans. Like they just naturally mature. And sometimes it takes them a while to develop certain things. Like Taryn, it took him a while to develop confidence to, speak up for himself or have courage to go to like a sports practice where he was the new kid, right? Stella never had that. She didn't have to develop that. For Taryn, it took till 6th grade or so. And with Stella, it was just like, it just took her a while to like become the giver of the family. But now all of a sudden she's the giver. And I will add one more thing to Disney World is there was even like hiccups to Disney World too. We had like a really, really gnarly lift experience, and she had scheduled all the lifts and all the transportations. And like, she had really asked us many times, should I do this? Should I not? And we were like, look, whatever you think, babe, like we trust you. You got this. Let us know if we can help you, because this is a lot. But if like, we'll do whatever you want. And there was like times where it was like, should we take the ferry over or whatever? But still, it was great to work through it, to have something go wrong and then learn from the situation versus like her sit in shame that she did it wrong. So even that was beautiful to work through. Like Disney World was awesome, and we are not Disney people. Don't think we're the Disney freaks. Like Terry and I were like, oh God, here we go. Let's go spend thousands of dollars. But it was beautiful because we got to experience the joy through Stella's eyes. And for her 18th birthday, that's what so much about parenting is about. Like you learn how to like not make it all about you, but just really be able to get in your kid's shoes and experience joy from what they find joy from. And we had fun. So that was that. And then
we've had some good laughs since then when Stella has brought up, hey, next time we go. Oh, yeah. And we've just looked at each other and laughed, and I was like, I can't wait to see my grandkids there with you next time we go. So it's going to be a while. As
Stella says, hail to the no. We are not going back to Disney World for a while. She will be up in Long Beach going to college, so I might hop up there and do
Disneyland, sure.
Every once in a while, but just because, again, it makes her happy. So.
No. Disneyland. Land and world, different. Yeah. World involves flights and...
Yes, exactly. Well, okay, so that's a kind of the year. I think Taryn had a big year where he got to lean into kind of going for something that was scary for him. So his high school team is national surfing champion. So here in San Diego, I know many of you are like, you guys have a surf team? Yes, we have a surf team in high school. What? And they are freaking national champions. A lot of the kids in our area, like they start in the 6th grade homeschooling, surfing 7 days a week, 8 hours a day, it seems like, to literally go down the path of becoming a professional surfer. And so it is ridiculously competitive. And Taryn didn't have that track in middle school. His school didn't have a competitive surf program. So he kind of entered in a little bit late, and he still found the courage to go for it in this very competitive landscape, to try out for the team. Thank God they added a C team this year to allow more kids to like surf in contests and be part of the whole team. But I feel like that was really beautiful to watch him, a kid who had struggled with some anxiety in his past of like, if I'm not the best, then I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm going to be the kid that's the worst, right? Or like not as good. And he really has like grown out of that and developed the ability to find confidence and joy in the journey of improving his sport, but not getting bogged down in like comparison or self-doubt. Would you agree? Like that was really beautiful to witness this year.
Yeah, I think he's also getting to see, having like put himself out there for that. Like he's getting to see the other side of the upside of this is the community and the friendships outweighing any of the results. Like, doing the holiday party for the surf team the other day, like all these kids are all, just having fun and laughing and do all these things. And like, yeah, if you knew everyone's name, you could sit there and be like, hey, that's the number one kid. That's the number two. Oh, this person won this person won that. But really, it isn't like that. Like, once they're out of the water, it is just like they're just a bunch of kids who love to surf, who are in community with one another. And it's really incredible that they are at the level that they are. And I think he's seeing the benefit of just being in that community. And if he wants to be a better surfer, being around great surfers, great coaches, that's the way that you do it. But you got to put yourself out there. So I think he, like, taking that first step, I think we can all relate to whatever that first step is. There's something that you're like, oh gosh, I this is important to me, but what if I'm not great at it at first or the best at it at first? What if I don't even make it? It's like, you just got to take the first step. So he did it, and that was huge for him. He's also just not as naturally competitive, which is totally fine.
Totally.
I mean, here's the irony with him, though, is he's so naturally good at everything. Like, he started surfing when he was a toddler, but I don't think it was ever like, I want to be this competitive surfer and this is how I'm going to like be the best. He just is just naturally like good at athletic things.
Yeah.
And so now he's also getting to balance this, like, okay, I can get better, but he still doesn't have to be the best. I think he just wants to be in the community.
Yeah. Yeah.
And be the best that he can be.
Yeah. Yeah. And already we're learning the ins and outs of the competitive high school surfing world and how to get online classes so you can get the free period first so you can surf at dawn because that's the best conditions. Like, it's just such a learning journey, and that's been really, really fun. But speaking of the difference between the chill kid and the competitive kid, let's take a step backwards to March and just kind of wrap. Like, we haven't, you and I really wanted to record an episode, and we'll just loop it into this one today, just about, holy smokes, what that journey was like to support a child with this dream, which was really like, come to find out as time went on, as far as becoming a committed Division I beach volleyball player, was a needle in the haystack dream. Like, we didn't quite realize how hard it was going to be to get recruited to play beach volleyball for a top team, because Stella is not just a like, I'm going to go play beach volleyball anyways. Like, her personality is, I only want the best. I want to be the best. I want to play for the best. So a top 10 or at least a top 20 school was like the only thing that she wanted. And so we spent the entire year of 2024 and the beginning of 2025 just cheering this kid on, supporting her with all of our heart. The amount of emails that you supported her to write and film and editing that you showed up as like the most rock solid father and support system to help her communicate with a boatload of coaches over the year, all while you and I held this like really interesting emotional like boat, this emotional boat. On one side, you're like, heck yes, we believe in this vision. We like so much of our work here at Fresh Air Family is sharing our journey to take this power kid and empower her to lead. You tell us, what's your dream? How can we support you? You want to have a rock sale on Monday morning? Cool, we'll have a rock sale. And no, you can't have a phone till high school. And here's the firm boundaries, firm, kind, but we will support you. We will do everything in our power to help you feel powerful, because we know that is the ticket to your heart. We know that is the ticket to great behavior. But to hold that load of like, okay, we're going to believe in this vision with this kid. And as time went on, it was also like, oh, there's a chance this won't happen. And so holding that scared feeling, and maybe you can speak to that, because my experience was like those last 6 months, it felt so gnarly. Like, it was the most intense practice in doing everything scared, because there really was a world where she tried her best. And then after a year and a half, and she's been playing since the third grade, so, you know, it's really a lot longer than a year and a half, but a year and a half of committing to this process of trying to get chosen by these coaches to be recruited. And there was a world where it would just be like, sorry, like that was a good try, but now you can just go pick your college and go to school, but you're not going to play beach volleyball. And holding that was so intense for me because as, you know, like it just felt like, no, we can't, like, I was scared that what if she gets depressed? What if she like, I don't know, like, what if this crushes her? Right. So it was like this very interesting journey to hold the, like, we believe in you, because the top dogs in beach volleyball, they get chosen like the first month, right? Like there was like 2 or 3, maybe 4 girls from our club out of like 16 or something. Like the first month you are chosen, but then the rest of the crew, whether you're an undersized defender or just like not like the top 1% in the nation, like you have to fight for it. And so what was your experience as we went through that season of just like holding both of those, like joy, excitement, believing and empowering our kid? Like, yeah, go for your dreams. Don't give up. You can create whatever reality that you want, co-create it with God. God wants, if you have this desire, God wants this for you, but then also like feeling scared as hell.
Yeah. I mean, I think you described the range there. And I mean, I guess starting with the low and going to the high, I mean, the low would be like, yeah, that somehow this wouldn't work out, or the no's or the rejections would like crush her. And then real talk. I mean, one of my biggest fears would be one of you guys or myself falling into a depression and being like, wow, how did we get here?
What did we do? Why did we think we could like make this kid think that she could have this big dream? Like that was kind of what sat underneath my heart.
I don't know that I went there. I think I just I sat in the fear. I don't know. I don't know. But then it also so working your way out of that, I think the fact that there was like a focused goal, I think just for me, I was like, okay, let's look at this from every angle. What are all the angles that we can look at here? So there was obviously just playing the game. Then there's the physical side of things. Are you doing everything on the physical side? The nutrition side. It was an opportunity to learn.
Oh, the nutrition battles.
There was a lot of nutrition battles. There was, but also seeing her in the gym and getting stronger. I could see this curve. She was hitting this growth curve so wonderfully, what felt like at the right time. And then you have networking. It was I was blessed with some people, some very influential and great people in the beach volleyball world, some professional athletes that really genuinely just saw how she played, who she was, and said, wow, yeah, she could be great. And I'd be happy to mentor her. So she had a couple of great mentors, Miles Partain, was an Olympian, Gina Urango, who just came off of getting her second MVP of the year for the AVP League this year. So, these are legit people that you're okay, now you've got that support system. You're at the right club doing the right things. You mentioned emails, there was, this learning of she got to learn how to draft emails and to just cast her net as wide as she wanted, which still, she kept getting encouraged to cast it wider, but she was really
she was so
she kind of has a gut feeling of yes or no these schools, which I don't know how outside of just but she kind of knew what was going to light her up and what wasn't, and she wasn't going to go for anything that wasn't going to light her up. So I think there was a lot of searching that she was doing of not just for beach volleyball, but where in the world she'd want to live, what would feel good, what size school. I mean, it really just...
What culture of a school would she belong in, feel like she belongs in. Yeah,
so then all of that was it was a lot, but there was such I think an upside to a lot of that too, that it was okay, well, we're focused on a goal. Every day there was something to do there. And I think it gave me a lot of purpose, which I was thankful for. And There was also a lot of like drama around this NCAA like settlement that they were having that was going to make it
like a legal lawsuit.
A legal
thing,
lawsuit
yeah.
that was going to like decrease the sizes of teams, so people were actually getting cut instead of committed. So there was just
It was such a
trying to
journey.
understand all the headwinds, trying to find ways around them, tracking like what day is this court case or this settlement? What are people saying about it? I mean, there was so much. I was listening to podcasts like beach volleyball coach podcasts on the way into school to see if they even mentioned something for 30 seconds so that I could have a hint as to like what's happening here. So I think I got entrenched in it in a good way, because I was like, well, when there's someone you love that's that focused on a singular goal, do anything to help you reach that goal. And so it was just like, let's go. But it's scary. And then there was a point where it was like, oh my gosh, she started to play so well. Where it was like, wow, it's happening. It's becoming undeniable. Somebody's just got to have a space on one of these teams.
And believe in her.
And believe in her.
Yeah.
And have this like not feeling like it's a one-sided thing of like, you know, these emails that, you know, you're just trying to get the attention and the belief back from someone. And she got it. And I couldn't be happier as to like, you know, the coaches that, you know, have that belief and have this mutual, like, that, you know, they're a fan of hers just as much as she's a fan of theirs. And so it's beautiful. I think it meant so much to go through that alongside of her this year. And there were so many emotions attached to it. We didn't know how it was going to turn out. If you would have told me it was going to turn out that way, I wouldn't have believed you. But at the same time, I'm also would have totally believed you. So
Yeah. And he's talking about the particular school she ended up at and all the things. But when I look back on that, I realized there's a few things. Like, you mentioned she just got really good at like trusting her intuition and her gut. And that was like my biggest takeaway from last year, was learning that it was really safe to trust myself, that like the vision and the dream was really safe. Like the intuition, the knowing that like, this is what I wanted. It was safe to go for that, even though there was going to be hardship and struggle and like challenges, and you weren't going to know how it was going to work out perfectly. Like that was my biggest takeaway from 2025, is that developing that ability to have like an embodied response to life and to go for what you want, to believe in your dreams and your vision, is really smart and safe. And I think Stella showed us that. It's like, it's such a great example. And I know, you know, you've been, I think, you know, you hear about like turning 50 is like people go through like midlife crisis, right? Like you've done like a lot of soul searching this year and done just a lot of beautiful things and like your own certain sections of life and career. And I think this is an example of where our child led us. So like we were there to support her and all the things. Of course, it was like a full dance and partnership to land her commitment. But she really did lead us. Like she showed us, like there's been so many conversations that you and I have had around career or life where it's like, hey, remember, this is how it's done.
Yeah.
Our kids showed us how it's done. We want this. We have a dream. We have a vision. We feel good about it. Like we work with God on it. And then we go for that vision and believe that we are deserving of having that, and that we can create and co-create with God whatever we want in our life. And we've been leaning into that ever since this happened. And she's, you know, signed those papers or whatever. And that's so meaningful, right? Like that's the way parenting is. It's not. We
introduced her to a lot of these things, but she had to do it. So it's like, think about this in your own life, listener. It's like, you know, she prayed on it. She read the manifestation books. She did the physical work. She some days did the nutritional stuff.
Protein, man, getting protein in that kid.
The mental game, like, you know, taking, like, looking at it from all aspects of, like, community, you know, like putting yourself out there in the community, off the court, all these things. So I think, you know, that's really, I think, a lesson for all of us of, like, hey, to have this, like, truly, like, holistic, like, kind of view of your own life. It's not just one of those things.
And belief in yourself.
Right. Like you're like,
you are deserving.
Having a goal, you know, praying and manifesting yourself into it, but then also preparing yourself physically mentally, and then just all like connecting all those dots. Like it was like, okay, wow, like.
And the humility, like to see where you're getting in your own way, where God's like trying to give you stuff and you're just like getting in your own way. Like I feel like strengthening your humility muscles is such a huge part of that process.
Yeah. And waiting also doesn't always, it's not always a bad thing.
Yes.
Like, so
Ooh,
in
I love that too.
Yeah. So in her case is like, it felt painful and it was like, why? Or like, am I less than? Am I all these things? And I was like, no, just wait.
Yeah.
Just trust. And you're just like, okay. And then like, yeah, I mean, when we look in the rearview mirror of all that and like the underlying lessons, it was like, I don't think if that offer would have came early, it would have been the same thing, and she wouldn't be the same person, and she would.
Or if other offers would have come, right? So if like Idaho, which was one time on her list, like which we now look at and we're like, oh my gosh, no, we're so thankful she's not someplace like that. But like if offers would have come earlier, this wouldn't have happened, right? So it was like literally perfect timing, exact timing that only God could have created.
Yep.
Like there was no like. The how to, like, that happened just beautifully and like organically.
Yeah. So I didn't have a word last year, but now you.
So wait, what's your biggest takeaway? And we're gonna
your look back here. I'm gonna put a word to it.
Wait. Okay. Okay. I hear you.
I've got one for look forward.
Okay, babe. Yeah.
Hey.
Cool.
So the look back is committed.
Oh.
Because it also tells me too, because this is I think there's a fork in the road. Like there are things that you're committed to that you would do anything for.
Like the listeners here who are like, I'm going to build the family legacy of my dream. We'll come back to that. Okay?
So if you've just made that decision, I'm making a commitment to this, then there's all the things that you would do, like all the things that I mentioned. We gave one example through our daughter. That can mean something totally different to you. But deciding that you're committed to it. And then there are the things that you're just not, or you're trying to convince yourself that you are, or you're forcing yourself to be like, oh, yeah, I'm committed to this, but like you're really not. And I think when you're not, don't expect yourself to feel great about it. I don't know. It's like whether you're like not in love with your job or where you live or some, thing that you're trying, but you're just not in it. It doesn't mean you have to be like reaping the fruits of everything. I mean, because the commitment side of things, like saying you're committed to something, like we went through so much of that season where the fruits weren't coming, the emails weren't coming back and all those things. But just deciding you're committed means that you would do anything for it. When you wake up in the day, you're like, cool, I can, I have something I can do, some step I can take towards it. And I know that is the best use of my time on earth to go and do that. Then there's the bucket of things that you're not committed to.
And just owning that, right?
Just own it.
Owning it.
Well, just be realistic. Like be real with yourself. Because sometimes like the things that you're not committed to they're taking away your time, talent, and everything from the things that you are committed to. So just, I don't know. I look at the year and I'm like, the things that I'm committed to, I will do anything for. The things that I'm not, feel forced or feel it just feels like you're walking up a hill.
I love that. And just like, so to kind of put a bow on it, I'm saying my biggest takeaway of the year was really learning to like trust myself and my desires and like what I want, my intuitive hits as like safe. It is safe to follow. It is smart to follow. Like, yes, go for what you want. Like it is never unwise when you have, and to learn how to like work with your body. Like these days, I swear it'll be like even an email or I don't even know anything. I can feel now I've developed the ability to have like an embodied response. Like my body will be like, no,
right.
Or it'll be like, ooh, yes, right? Like
that's cool.
So that's really exciting. And then you're saying the takeaway is just really the biggest takeaway of 2025 is just be committed to the things that are the most important, your visions, your dreams, and it's okay to have areas where you're not as committed, and just don't be surprised if those aren't reaping the benefits, or so to speak.
And then once you've decided that you are committed to something, it's not like, okay, that's going to be the easy road. I think it just means that's the road that you want to continue down.
Yeah. And like in the realm of listeners, right? And like we're headed into a new year. It's 2026. This is our first episode of the year. And like we have so many opportunities here, right, to learn about how to live this style of parenting, which really I refer to as powerful parenting these days. The book that will come out in May 2026, Woo! Fresh Start Your Family, Powerful Parenting to Restore Peace in Your Home. And I think legacy, your family legacy. But so much of it relies on really making that commitment. Because we all know it is not easy to end painful generational cycles. Like there are all types of like things that get handed down in family lineages from, yes, fear and force and yelling and reactivity and that kind of stuff. But there's also withdrawal and resentment and emotional manipulation and unhealthy conflict resolution, right? The opposite of peaceful conflict resolution, power over control, like authoritarian systems. Like these are all things that get passed down in legacies or in generational lineages. And it's not like you snap your fingers and overnight you're like, cool, we're good now. I'm no longer yelling and my kid feels unconditionally loved and is cooperating because they want to, not because they have to. But it really does take commitment and deciding that this is the thing that I'm going to choose to put my full belief in. And now that we sit at this place with an adult child that we did that, like it is the greatest I don't even want to use the word accomplishment. It is the greatest joy of my life.
Yeah.
That we decided 15 years ago that this work was what we wanted to build our life on. Like, I mean, dude, it's crazy. The rewards that have come, like the relationship we have with our daughter and our son and the achievements they've made in the world that aren't forced and pressured, but just more like they're following their dreams and they're getting straight A's and Taryn might have a B or a C here and there. He's going to get that C up to a B, I think.
Oh, he's got A's and B's.
Yeah. But at one time they were both always straight A's, but it's his first year of high school. Yeah. But like, yes, they have that. Yes, they have these accomplishments, but mostly they're just healthy. They're healthy.
Yeah.
They're so healthy. And we have the relationship of our dreams with them, but it took us 13 years. Taryn's 15 now. I guess it's been 15 years. Sorry, 15 years of committing to this and saying we were going to do whatever it took to be able to find immense joy in our daily walk with our children. And we have been through so many seasons, but now we sit at this place with the adult kid. She's reached her dreams. Our relationship with her will continue, right? Like it's not like 18 years old, you just stop being a parent. But I love your takeaway because, people have to also be realistic. If that is not what you are choosing to prioritize, then just be realistic. You're not going to get the results. So commit. Look at your life, decide what you want to be the most committed to, and then choose. And if you are going to choose building the family legacy of your dreams, go all in, man, because when you watch someone like Stella, or I think us, I think we really have the place where we started when Stella was literally like, I thought she was going to drive me insane. I was trying spanking. I was
we bought some hot sauce.
We bought hot sauce, try sassy sauce. Like I've written the articles. I left bruises. I threw a book the night I threw a book at my kid. Like to see where we started and to see where we are now, it's just the greatest joy of my life. And I encourage others to make that commitment. So,
and it does not mean the commitment doesn't mean that we had it all figured out, and you won't have it all figured out along the way. But I think once you say you're committed, I remember so many times along the way, especially once you really made this your life's work too, is people just want to know, does it work? Does it work? Does it work? And I think we wholeheartedly believed that it was working for us. But I think once you have an 18-year-old and you're okay, now you're we've seen this all the way through. Does it work? It was 100% yes, no regrets. I'm just making a joke, but yeah, I mean, not that
Movie
like
reference from
it
For the
was all
Millers.
like, not that it was all roses, not that it was all like, but like just making the commitment and like choosing like what direction we were headed with our relationships, being held in the highest regard, and really, honoring and learning who our kids were and helping them step into that versus so much of the traditional mindset that you've heard if you've listened to anything that Wendy has spoken about over the years. But like just committing to that was, I don't, yeah, it is one of the most important things that we've ever done. And I can wholeheartedly say, on the flip side of all of this, yes, it works. It worked. It's wonderful. It's incredible. And you kind of breezed by it. I know that you've mentioned this, but Fresh Start Your Family, Wendy's book that she wrote, is on pre-order at the time of this.
I know, but we can't tell them that yet. So don't go yet, because we're gonna. I know, but no, you can. It's okay. Like,
okay, it's
if
exciting.
they really tried to find it, they could. It's very exciting, but like, don't just wait a little bit. Maybe I'll try to rush the pre-order stuff, because I'm gonna have bonuses for you guys. It's gonna be so amazing.
It's not on pre-order,
but it's okay. Terry's excited, so keep going, babe. I want to receive this right now because I love this. It's okay.
We're recording this as the year wraps up, and we've brought a kid to adulthood. You've written a book, Fresh Start Your Family. I mean, it's like all of these 15 years put into something that's just feels so monumental as well. And I'm just so happy for you to be able to share that with the world when the time's right. And I don't know, I think it's symbolic of so much. I mean, it's so incredible. Fun. So excited.
It is so fun. Yeah. And like, yeah, it's just, again, sitting in that like overarching, like I always say it's like the drone view, or like being able to look down at the full picture from the mountaintop. I use that analogy a lot. Like, we've been climbing this mountain, right? And like, again, with kids, you always are parents, like their entire life, right? But when you get them to 18, there is something very special that you get to look back on and literally measure. And I just know, like, especially after like working with someone recently, where you can tell like the opposite has been happening for quite some time, and the effects are really heartbreaking, like the disconnection and the rebellion and the shame and the like harming of oneself and the like self-doubt and the paranoia about what others think, and like all the things that come, in my experience, from helping thousands and thousands of parents escape that authoritarian or autocratic system. Like, I get to see it in real life for the people who have not yet committed or created the like understanding or full mastery of how this type of parenting works. And it really is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. So to be sitting on something that really just could literally heal the world feels so good. And I'm so excited about the book. Maybe I'll just try to rush and get a little pre-order page ready by the time this. I think this was perfect. Appetite. You dropped it.
It's like me not being on the podcast for a little bit. Like, it might be on pre-order. It might not be.
Yeah. Oh, the mystery. The mystery.
I would just say, for anybody listening, hopefully you're committed and you figured out like, that you're committed to your family, you're committed to the relationships within your family. You've chosen a path and you're going to, stick to it, forever. Yeah. And then also like tap in a loved one, this next year, just that you also just want to like spread the good news with, or like, when somebody compliments your kid on something, because I think we also always see things in like other kids too. Like, it's like, I don't know, share it, and I think it'll be really cool to have a physical thing to share too. You should read this book, Fresh Start Your Family.
Yeah.
Sometimes, a book can be a beautiful way to pass on what you're seeing. And, because if you're feeling it and feeling the love and the light here with Fresh Start Family, now you've got something you can pass on to someone else. So
I love you, babe. Yeah. All right. Well, it is time to officially announce the word of the year. for 2026. So we've looked back on 2025 from our heart, not just our head, but really looked at like what felt so good, like what it was our takeaways. And now looking forward to 2026, our desires, our wants, our dreams. I'll go first. My word is simple. My word is simple.
Oh, I love that for you.
So
That for you.
if you've been around here at all, you know that like I love to teach self-awareness, right? Like your own contribution to the dance. Like where are you co-creating the life that you want or that you don't want? And I am coming to the table knowing that I have a tendency to do too much, as Elaine on Seinfeld said once, like the giant salad on a little plate. It's very annoying, right? Like I want this new year to feel simple and relaxed. And like, I want my contribution to be like a statement with everything that I do. And like, I already am so challenged by it. It's so beautiful. You know that phrase, if it scares you, then it's probably perfect. You should do it. So simple is my word. I help a lot of people. A lot of y'all listeners is like you always say, overwhelm is like one of your number one things. So I know to be the best teacher, to be able to help others, I have to do it first. So I want to get myself out of any state of overwhelm and have my choices be simplified and not think that I have to do a million things at once always. So like it is safe to slow down and it is safe to focus and do fewer things. So that's my word. How about you, Terry?
Okay, so I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So last year when we recorded this, what was your word for 20?
Brave.
Okay.
Yeah, and I do feel good about that. Like I bravely did a lot of things that I'm like, whew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of funny because I was like, as you were doing your recap of 2025,
Yeah.
I was like, dang it, am I a year behind Wendy? Because you started talking about the word trust, and I was like, that's my word.
Oh, okay.
That's my word for 2026. So
Oh, I love that.
yeah, so
yeah.
I think, trust for me shows up in, trusting in the not yet known, but it's on the way.
Yeah.
Believing in things that maybe haven't arrived yet, but could arrive today. Mm-hmm. I think also just trusting in myself that I'm enough. I and society, I think that it's like there's always something more you could be doing, whether it's filling your day with something more or learning something more or doing something more. What was enough 20 years ago is not
doesn't feel like enough today
now in so many aspects. So somehow you need to be better. And then like wrestling with this whole thing of like, you're like, but wait, I think like, I don't know if innately is the word, but like, I do feel like I'm enough. So it's not like, I think it's just like holding that truth and trusting that like, you're like, I don't need to like keep comparing myself to like whatever I think society wants or
heck yes,
or a boss wants or anything else. So I think I just got to trust myself. I got to trust myself that I'm going to be enough in whatever situation. I got to trust that like whatever decision that's put in front of me every day, even the little things, it's like go left, go right. Okay, I decide to go left. Great. Trust yourself. That's the right thing to do.
And trust that God is like always guiding you, right? Like those intuitive hits, like they are like, in my opinion, it's always like this funnel, so to speak, like of divine guidance. And it's like, are we going to receive it or are we going to reject it? And like to become in this receiving state and be like, cool. It's like a dance. We're just dancing through life with like the divine guidance and our intuition, which is often combined.
Yeah. So I think, what like my mind and body has been speaking to me a lot, especially in the second half of the year of like, I'm trying to quiet my mind. I'm also trying to like calm my body. Like I have like a general, like kind of just like nervous aura. And so I think the trust for me is just like to like help everything settle settle down and just trust that I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm enough. I'm more than enough. That, yeah, there's not like something that I need to be doing more of unless I'm led to that. Yeah. And when I'm led to that, I think I've proven over and over. I mean, like, as we say, like the data shows when I'm led to something, there's nothing I wouldn't do. So yeah. So trust.
I love it. And just to like highlight what you said too, babe, about 2025 and looking at Stella's journey, like she really taught us that it is safe to trust yourself and to trust that God's got you. That like, again, like that, I should know the scripture by heart because it's so meaningful to me, but like that scripture of like, your desires are from God. Like your desires, like they are meaningful. They matter. Like you don't need to doubt them. But like she really showed us that it is safe to trust that like it is coming. Like, and you had mentioned like the patience and the trust of the timing, right? Like that for all of us. I mean, I feel that so much with Fresh Start Family and like, the like place I want it to be. And it's like, so many times you're like, why isn't this moving as fast as I want or in the order? And it's like leaning into that and having our child go first to show us that like, it's safe to trust, to wait, and to believe that this like incredibleness is coming to you. And you just have to be in a place of receiving and knowing that you're worthy and that it will come. Because, yeah, we just get in our own way a lot. So,
yep.
Oh my gosh, so much fun, Terry, to record this with you. Thank you for being here, babe. I really do want to have you more on the show. So maybe we'll just
see. We'll see, like, the demand.
I know. Yeah. So please, like, shoot us an email or shoot me a DM on Instagram. I've pretty much dissented from social media, but I still check DMs there. And shoot Terry a DM. Terry, like we normally do, let listeners know where they can come find you. Come share this with your husbands, I will say. Please share this with your husbands so they can hear what it's like to hear from a dad who's been doing this work for 15 years, has the relationship of his dreams with his daughter and his son. Share this with your spouse. And if you want some really incredible creative inspiration, you can find me driving on the 5 freeway Monday through Wednesday in the mornings and in the afternoons. Just beep, pull up next to me and beep loud. No, on Instagram, Terry Snyder Creative, and then my website's terrysnydercreative.com. Yes. Such a talented creative. All right, honey, we love you so much.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Listeners, thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of this community. We cherish each and every one of you so much. And this is the year to commit. This is the year to believe that you can create whatever you want for your family. We've got a really, really special free event happening the last week of January. We're going to be giving you all the details for that soon. So mark your calendar right now, January 28th. Just go ahead and mark off your day to spend some time with me that day because I'm going to be teaching some pretty incredible stuff that you're not going to want to miss.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. So thanks for being here, listeners. We'll see you in the next episode. Before you go, I have a question for you. What if parenting felt peaceful and empowered? And what if your days with your children felt connected and joyful, even if you are raising a strong-willed child or kids who really aren't shy with bringing the sass? Look, I know that you have worked so hard to become a loving, generous parent. So why does it feel so stressful? Well, I want to introduce you to something brand new that I've created called the Fresh Start Family Quick Start Learning Bundle, where I share my 3 secrets to empower, connect, and build true collaboration with your strong-willed child or kiddo that pushes back often. Because empowerment and connection as a parent starts with you leading the way towards more peace and joy in your home, not waiting for your kids to become easier or your spouse to become more supportive. This free learning guide and 1-hour interactive workshop will help you rewire your nervous system around misbehavior, stop the reactive parenting patterns, and
Implement an easy, powerful parenting framework that sets you up for success with more cooperation, respect, and connection in your home. Plus, it comes with the 5-minute Say This, Not That reset to give you an instant lift with cooperation from your kids. So you can have increased peace and joy as a parent anytime you want. All you need to do to get the free Quick Start Learning Bundle and save your seat for the interactive workshop is go to freshstartfamilyonline.com/power. Hooray! You made it to the end of a Fresh Start Family Show episode. Thank you so much for being here. If you have a quick second, make sure you hit subscribe to our show so you can be updated when our new episodes drop. I will see you back soon for the next episode.